One of the most powerful tools ever created is probably sitting on your computer right now. But for a lot of people, it's just a source of dread. I'm talking about Microsoft Excel. Our goal today? It's simple. We're going to transform that intimidating grid into your new secret weapon for organizing, calculating, and telling amazing stories with data.
Does this look familiar? Yeah, that endless grid of empty cells, it can feel like you're just staring at a blank wall. It's a super common feeling, but what if we just looked at it a different way? What if this wasn't an empty wall, but a blank canvas, just waiting for you to create some order out of all that chaos?
Because that grid, it's an absolute powerhouse just waiting for you to tell it what to do. We're about to break down all the fundamentals, so by the end of this, you'll have the core skills to make Excel start working for you, not against you.
Okay, first things first. Let's just get our bearings. This part is all about understanding the basic environment. I promise, once you know what you're looking at, everything else gets so much easier. It all starts with a really simple analogy. Think of the entire Excel file you have open as your workbook. That's the whole binder. And inside that binder, you have individual pages, right? Well, each of those pages is a worksheet or a spreadsheet. You can just flip between them using those little tabs at the bottom of your screen. Now, the most fundamental piece of this whole puzzle is the cell. Every single one of these little rectangles is a cell, and it's where all your information, your text, your numbers, your formulas is going to live. The key thing to get is that every cell has its own unique address, kind of like a house on a street. A1, B2, C3. It's just based on its column and its row. And that address system, that's what makes all the magic possible. So up top, you've got your main toolkit, what we call the ribbon. And right below that, a bar for seeing what's actually in a cell. On the sides, you have your navigation, the columns and rows. And down at the bottom, those tabs for switching between your sheets. That's it. That's your whole control panel.
All right, we know our way around now, so it's time to actually put something on the page. This section is all about entering and styling your data to make it clear, readable, and looking professional.
Seriously, entering data is as easy as 1, 2, 3. You just click on a cell, you start typing whatever you want, and then you hit Enter to move down or Tab to move across to the next one. That's it. You are now officially creating a spreadsheet. See? Easy. But just having raw data isn't always enough. It needs to be easy to actually read. And that's where basic formatting comes in. Using bold for your headers, adding a splash of color to highlight key figures, or just adjusting the column width so your text actually fits, these little tweaks make a huge, huge difference in clarity.
Now for a little piece of Excel magic. See that tiny little square in the bottom right corner of a cell when you click on it? That's called the fill handle, and it is awesome. If you type, say, January in a cell, then grab that little handle and drag it down, Excel automatically fills in February, March, and so on. It's an incredible time saver for any kind of pattern.
Okay, so our data is on the page and it looks good. Now it's time to unlock the features that make Excel a true powerhouse. This is where we go from just making simple lists to actively managing and analyzing information. This is the fun part. Oh man, we have all been there. You've got this huge list of data, and as soon as you scroll down, you totally forget what each column is even for. It's so frustrating. But thankfully, there is an elegant, one-click solution.
These 3 tools right here are about to become your new best friends for dealing with big sets of data. With just a couple of clicks, you can sort your data from A to Z, you can filter it to show only the specific things you need, or, and this solves our scrolling problem, you can freeze panes to lock those headers right in place. All of a sudden, that giant, overwhelming table becomes perfectly manageable.
So, organizing data is great, but the real heart and soul of Excel is its ability to do calculations for you, instantly. This is where we stop using it as just a table and start using it as a dynamic, super-powered calculator. Writing your first formula is way simpler than it sounds. The number one most important rule is this: every single formula must start with an equal sign. That's the signal that tells Excel, hey, get ready to do some math. From there, you just click the cells you want to use, add an operator like a plus or a minus sign, and hit Enter. And bam, the result just appears. And to make things even easier, Excel has these built-in shortcuts called functions. So instead of adding up cells one by one, you can just use the sum function and select a whole range of cells at once. Honestly, with just these 4, sum, average, max, and min, you can answer the most common questions about pretty much any set of data you have. So we've entered data, we've organized it, we've even calculated with it. Now it is time to bring it all to life. This section is all about turning those rows of boring numbers into a clear, visual story that anyone can understand in a single glance.
Okay, so here we have some simple sales data.
It's clean, it's accurate, but let's be honest, it's just numbers on a page. You have to actually read each line to figure out what's going on. We can do way better than this.
And voila! With just a few clicks, that boring table becomes this awesome bar chart. See how the story is now just instant? You don't have to read the numbers to see the sales growth from January to March, or that little dip in April. That immediate clarity, that is the power of visualization.
Okay, so now that you have these skills, entering data, formatting it, using formulas, and creating charts, what can you actually build with all this? Let's look at a couple of classic, really practical examples.
A personal budget is the perfect first project. Seriously, you can list all your expenses, use that sum function we talked about to get your total spending, and then boom, create a pie or a donut chart like this one to see exactly where your money is going each month.
Or how about a simple contact list? You can format your data as a table, which automatically gives you these super handy sort and filter buttons right in the headers. Now you can instantly find a person by name or filter to see everyone who works at a specific company. So useful.
And there you have it. We've literally gone from a blank sheet to organized data, powerful calculations, and really compelling charts. You've just built a fantastic foundation in a tool that can do so much more. This is truly just the beginning of what's possible.
So that spreadsheet is no longer a barrier. It's your canvas. You have the fundamental tools now to track a project, to manage a budget, or to analyze a new trend. The only question left is, what story is your data going to tell?